Well,
Hey.
Sean just left the building.
So we can commence.
We had this whole thing. It's kind of fun to listen to him commentate sometimes.
It is sometimes.
It is. So, 1850.
1850 competitive. We're preparing for a tournament, so these are competitive ITC style lists because that's the rules we're playing.
Right, the ITC format, independent tournament circuit. If you know what that is, it's run by Frontline Gaming. We have a tournament called the Salt City Gladiator Games, which is taking place sometime in mid-August. Don't ask me the exact dates; I don't remember. Up in northern Utah. Right. So.
And Thomas and I are going to go and do our best.
All right, sounds great. So this is what you're thinking of running.
Yes.
Let's see it.
Look at
what do we got?
So my commander Churok he's a work in progress, but we wanted to show you just how he's coming. Those of you who have seen him over time. So it's a war boss on a bike.
Here's the last
Churok
version of Churok. Yes. Churok, he's upgraded. He's eating his Wheaties.
He is eating his Wheaties.
His Space Marine Wheaties.
So is his bike.
Yeah.
So anyway,
his bike definitely ate some Space Marine Wheaties.
So he's on a Carnosaur, but it's a bike, and he has a Power Claw. He has the Lucky Stick.
Okay.
He also has Power Claw, Lucky Stick. He does have a Cyborg Body. I do give that to him just in case.
Cyborg Body is the 5+.
It's a 6+. Feel no pain.
Oh, feel no pain. Okay, so it's no longer 5+.
It's not invulnerable anymore. So he has
and the Lucky Stick is re-roll, any kind of re-rolls, but if you re-roll a triple.
If you fail 3 rolls that you re-roll, you die.
In one
phase.
In one phase. So let's say that he's, so if let's say he's in close combat, he's got 6 attacks or something like that. He rolls let's say he misses 5 times, you re-roll 5 dice and 3 of them are misses
Fails again, he dies.
He's just dead.
He's just gone.
Brutal.
Removed.
Okay.
Removed.
But otherwise you can just keep re-rolling. So for instance, saves and stuff, that's great.
Well, saves, attacks, and 2 wounds.
Gotcha. And he doesn't have an invulnerable save?
He does not.
Okay, well that's how you get him then.
Yes.
I got it.
He is toughness 6, so
he's not gonna instant die, but I still can hit him with a hammer.
You can hit him with a hammer.
All right, we're gonna hit him with a hammer.
Okay, so that's him. He does have a personal mech that has a Combi Scorcha. That's this one, and he will be going in one of the trucks. But then he also has a Pain Boy who's on a Carnosaur as well, just a Carnosaur bike, but his is much smaller.
Does the Cyborg Body add +1?
No. That would be. See, that would be awesome.
That would balance
be
out
awesome.
with some like Iron Hand shenanigans. Yep. Here's my 2+.
Yep.
Here's my 2+.
But the orcs are an older codex. We've had like 3,000 Marine codexes since the orcs were released. But that's
you know what? That is not. It's not true.
It's getting close.
No, you know what's crazy about it?
What's that?
Is we've had 2 Space Marine Codex. The Space Marine Codex has come out twice.
There are multiple.
Since the orcs came out.
There are multiple codexes that have come out twice since the orcs have come out.
Wait, no, I'm doing that wrong. Because the orcs came out 7th, right?
Very beginning of 6th was when they came out.
I thought they came out at 7th.
No.
I thought it was.
Wait, we're in 7th now.
Yeah, it was Astra Militarum, then Orcs, then Space Wolves, then Dark Eldar, then Blood Angels.
Right.
So Space Marines has only come out once, but Space Marines had an update in 6th, and then they updated again in 7th.
So they've been updated twice.
Right. Orcs updated at the beginning of 7th.
Beginning of 6th.
And 7th. 6th. The first codex to come out in 6th was. At the end of 5th edition, Necrons came out. Then 6th edition came out, and it was Chaos Space Marines, followed by Dark Angels.
Well, anyway, they'll tell us.
Right. The point of it is that the orcs
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. It's only been a year.
No.
Yes.
No, then it's definitely the beginning of 6th.
No, 7th edition has only been out for a year.
Here we go. We'll look on the cover of the book.
We're going to look on the cover of the book.
When it came out.
It's 2014.
Orcs. Okay, shut up, Thomas. That's 2014. But they'll tell us online when it actually came out. They'll look it up.
2014.
We don't have time to look it up.
I'm just saying, it's 2014, and it's okay, because codexes that came out 6 months ago are out of date.
Eldar have come out twice since Orcs.
Only once. They came out. They came out before.
You guys tell us.
They came out before. It does, you're not wrong. And here's the problem. Both of the Eldar codexes were better than the Orc codex.
Right. But hey, don't talk bad about my codex. We're gonna kick your butt today because of that.
Okay. I believe it.
The Pain Boy's on a bike.
Pain Boy's on a bike. Now these are. Have you shown these off here before?
I don't know if we've gone into detail, but
these are awesome.
Bikes.
So they're the snake bite theme, right?
Yeah, Churok was a snake bite boy. He came up through the ranks, and he still has some snake bite tendencies.
So they ride lizards.
So they ride lizards instead of, and they all have.
I love it.
What's great is they all do have exactly what they have. They all have combi. They all have these twin linked guns. So they're the combi DACA guns. Then they have pistols and swords. So
dude, I love it. I love it. It's like, you know, you're getting a beautiful conversion that shows off the hobby. That says, hey, I spend time and effort. I'm a hobbyist, and you also have WYSIWYG.
Right.
This is something that online community. There's this idea, this stigma that there's people who play the hobby, and then there's people who are like win at all costs tournament guys. Obviously, those are the far extremes, right? But like, there's these people. If you're a competitive player, you can't be a hobbyist, or vice versa.
And that's totally not true.
It's totally not true.
Totally not.
It's and
I think
you
Thomas and I are both examples of that.
Well, hey, thank you. You exemplify that.
So 15 bikers, just regular bikers. I do have a knob with a power claw.
All one unit.
All one unit.
Okay.
Then I do have a second mech that goes for this guy, and he's just stock, nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
So these are HQ choices, and now, and I'm going to say old school style because it's old school as of a year ago. When you often found that there was a codex, you would pay for an HQ, and then it would allow you the option of another free. And I mean, you still have to pay for it, but it would open the option of another HQ-esque slot.
That's correct.
Whereas most of the codexes now are like, okay, it's just an HQ, take multiple detachments.
Right. And I'll assign those two mechs into squads, into trucks. So I have 4 trucks. All of them have 10 total models, including a knob with a boss pole and power claw.
Okay.
The trucks have rockets. Then I have 2 individual def copters in that unit.
Okay.
2 units of Ludas, 5-man strong.
2 5-man units. Okay.
Those are in case I run into flyers and light vehicles. They're pretty good at stuff like that.
I got some light vehicles for you.
Great range.
They do. They're incredible. They have great range, a lot of hitting power. One of the units that I think a lot of people, they're like, oh, Ludas, those are whatever. But it's one of those units that time and again you see playing, even though people don't necessarily on paper think that it will.
Right. So then that's a combined arms detachment. That's my first. Now for this tournament, you can't have 2 combined arms detachments.
Right. You can have up to 3 separate sources.
Right.
But they all have to be different.
Right.
Yeah.
So this second detachment is a Great Wad detachment from the Gazgul Codex.
Gotcha.
So that requires...
Which also came out in 2014.
So that requires, I have an HQ, which is another boss, and this boss has the big boss pole.
So, okay, I don't know what the big boss pole is.
Fearless.
Fearless, that's great. And that's a piece of war gear out of this?
Piece of war gear out of here.
That's awesome.
And that's why...
Is it a bubble or is it just him?
It's just the unit.
So he can join these guys and make them fearless. That's great.
Awesome.
I got to tell you what, I've had to play this chaplain, and we'll talk about it when I get to it, but having that chaplain in fearless has been phenomenal.
Well, I'll tell you one of the reasons, and this is one of the drawbacks to the Great Wad detachment, the advantage to this codex is actually, in my opinion, a detriment. Because when you roll on your WOG or your numbers, I can't remember the name of it, but when you're rolling for your numbers, any unit that has a model from this book in it, that unit takes D3 plus 3 hits instead of D6 hits.
Oh.
Which is worse. And they get a plus something, I think it's plus 2 to their roll. So it's way worse in my opinion, especially the way I build my army. So I needed the Fearless. The only unit that will really be affected by that is this unit of 5 tank busters, and I have to take an elite in this detachment.
And that's the tank busters.
That's the tank busters. I stick them in a truck, and they drive around shooting stuff. I do have one mech to attach to them, or if I need it, I can attach him to the Labas.
Gotcha.
To give them some leadership bonus.
Gotcha.
So, and he does have a rocket. Then I have 2 units of Grots to fill the troop choice for this detachment, and then 2 individual Death Copters again, and 5 Labas. And that's my I forgot Clangor Stompabout, my big mech.
Gotcha.
He has a kill saw.
What does the kill saw do?
It's basically a chain fist.
Chain fist. Okay.
Yeah,
so double their strength plus armor beam.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then he's on a bike.
Unwieldy.
Unwieldy, yes,
Yeah.
and he's on a bike just like the other one.
So you got you get yourself a super unit here.
Right.
One might say a Death Star.
You could say that if you can say there's an orc Death Star. That's about as close as it gets.
Now certain individuals I know. I don't know if he'll actually watch this video, but certain individuals I know, aka Reese, doesn't think that this might be a Death Star.
He doesn't. It's pretty nasty. I'll tell you, the last time Churok fought, he killed Mephiston, a chaplain, and a sanguinary priest in one round of combat. Just killed them all.
Just killed them all.
It was awesome.
That's awesome. Now here's a question for you.
Yes.
This guy's nearly done.
Yes.
When he's finished, is this guy, and they play in the same army, is this guy going to have a different name?
A different name, yes.
You're gonna rename him.
Yes, Churok has come through many. I showed a video once of Churok through the ages, and he moves up, and this becomes just a war boss under him, because Churok's a war lord. He's not a war boss.
Ah, I gotcha.
So
Lord is important. I get you.
So yeah, so that's my army. We'll see how they do against the Marines. I'm really excited to play against Thomas. I did watch his game against Reese and thought, ooh, what would I do? And I guess I'm about to see. So.
Well, good luck to you, sir. I hope it works out. I've been playing against a lot of Eldar, so it's kind of this is kind of the opposite end of things. So hopefully it still works out the way I want it to. I mean, what I'm hoping is that for, of course, a good game. In terms of the tournament, I'm hoping that my list fares well. So his models were looking a lot more nicer than mine. You guys may have seen some of this if you watch Frontline Gaming at all. Here's my battle company. So it's two Dim-Eye companies together to make a battle company. So I have Khan on bike, and then I have a chaplain on bike, and then the chaplain has an Auspex. And then they have a command squad, 3 storm shields, and an apothecary. And then this is a strike force command, and I've been playing him as a chapter master in the past. In this iteration of the list, he's only a captain, and rather than having the shield eternal, he has storm shield. So he's saved him about 80 points, and I was able to use that to add in upgrades and stuff elsewhere in the army. So then I have the there's 6 tactical squads required. So we need these guys with the Aquila on top there. They are tactical squad rhinos that have a single grav cannon in them. So if there's 4 of those, and then there's 2 tactical squads that are just single las cannons, and then they have a Razorback instead of a rhino, and the Razorback's been upgraded for a las cannon. Then this is a thing that I realized after I had played 2 games on camera with Reese. I had actually been shorting myself a free transport from the command squad. It's pretty silly writing, but in the Space Marine Codex, in the current iteration, it says a command squad may take a transport, and it doesn't say anything about if you do not, like what it says is you can take Space Marine bikes, but then it doesn't disallow taking a dedicated transport still. Which is kind of a funny little thing. So if you take, obviously one of the benefits of taking the battle company is you get a free transport if you have the full, if you've taken all the requirements of the battle company. So the command squad is part of the battle company. They get themselves a free transport, and then I paid 20 points to upgrade it to have a las cannon. Silly. I mean, because all the other units in the Space Marine Codex that have like jump packs, for instance, it says if you do not take jump packs, you may take a dedicated transport.
Right.
In this case, it just says may take a dedicated transport. It's one of those wording things that if Games Workshop was looking to build a balanced miniature game, they would add that. They would definitely fix that.
Right.
So anyway, there's the tactical squads. 2 Devastator squads. These are marked by the Emperor's Children symbol on top of the rhinos. They have double grav cannon, so 2 grav cannons each. Then
so wait, Thomas, I'm confused here. So you only have 4 tacticals there and 2 here. Okay.
Yeah. So total.
Okay,
so the total is 6
of those.
I just separate. No, I separated them. And then my fast attack choices within the battle company is 2 single multi-melta attack bikes, which this is my conversion for. You guys may or may not have seen, I'll do the painting bike. May or may not have seen these. I've converted bikes to look like jet bikes because I'm going for a pre-Heresy Emperor's Children look. And then I've just underslung the multi-melta, and to make it the same size roughly as an attack bike, I put them on a 50mm base. Then my auxiliary choice, which I have to take, is the 10th Company, so 3 5-man scout squads. I didn't finish the models. The goal is to have these models look like Sisters of Silence. I've tried to do, I dislike the scout models. Some people like them, some people don't. I don't like them. But what I wanted to, with pre-Heresy theme in mind, what I wanted to do was do Sisters of Silence because they're part of that. And I've never been able to, there's never been Sisters of Silence models, and I've never found any of the GW range and many other sculptors to really kind of get that, okay, the model looks like a woman, is attractive, and at the same time, have the fit the theme and the fill that you want.
Right.
So finally, these are Raging Hero models. Check them out; they're really awesome. These are the stand-in for Dark Eldar Witches, and I've taken and done some conversions. And at some point, I'll probably do a video for Sean, and he can show that off as something that could be done. Anyway, so this is the Army, 1850. Lots of free transports. Everything in the Army is objective secured except for the scouts and the captain. But they are still part of the Gladius Strike Force, the overarching detachment out of the book, so they do benefit from the doctrines,
right,
which you're able to use.
Thomas, I did forget one thing. The Big Mech does have what's called a mega force field.
The Big Mech that's part of Gazgul.
Part of that
Mega force field does
4+ invulnerable save bubble.
How far?
6 inches of the model.
Okay, and that's just the
Big Mech.
The Big Mech. That's the guy that's on the bike. That's great. That sells that. That's why you definitely have a Death Star.
Yes.
It's got a
4+ invulnerable.
It's got a fat invuln
yes.
save.
Yes.
That's great. No, that's really powerful. It's really good.
Yeah.
One of the fears that I had coming against an orc list with as much grav as I have is that orcs don't have armor saves, so they don't care about grav, right? But his bike squad does have a 4+, and with grav cannons being automatically coming with a reroll, that means that I can still get away with being able to do a lot of wounds to that unit.
Right.
So, and it relies mostly on its cover save. So the fact that he has a 4+ invuln save in there is going to be really good for him.
Right.
We're going to play an ITC mission. I think we're about to run out of time here on this camera. I'll go ahead and we better switch the card.